You know what Seasons Magazine is. You might see it in your mailbox. It comes 4 times a year, and the spring issue is out. There's a great story about the Connecticut Beer Trail. So here to learn more about it, we have Hillary Russo. Thank you so much for being here.
I bring gifts.
You bring gifts.
I always bring gifts when I visit somebody's house.
You know, and
This
beer.
is our living room.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. Very few people don't like beer. I mean, I'm not a huge aficionado of it, but you know, there's so many. You were just saying over literally dozens and dozens and dozens.
There's like 30 in the state of Connecticut, and it's growing by the end of the summer.
And we're talking about
microbreweries, craft beer, artisans in the beer world.
Did you start in a certain place and then work your way through Connecticut? How did it all work?
The whole idea is that Seasons Magazines, which is in the central Connecticut area, did a story on the history of the Connecticut Beer Trail, which was started by a guy named Brian Turner. And I said, you know what? Let's turn this into a fun travel story. Let me do a video on it. And we traveled and we went to, well, we had time to do 3 breweries.
Okay.
All different. So one was a microbrewery, a big one like Thomas Hooker, and then we went to a nano brewery, which is a smaller one like Relic, and then we went to the Cambridge House Brew Pub, which is a brew pub. They're all different kinds, but they all craft their own beer.
Now,
Did you have a favorite?
Sorry.
Yeah, that would be the chocolate truffle.
The chocolate truffle.
That was kind of deadly, and that was at Hooker. But honestly, they all have such amazing beers. This is like the Hooker Watermelon Ale, which is their summer brew coming out. I mean, there were like so many beers, and I'm not a beer person like you are.
Oh, okay.
And you said that as well. I'm a wine girl.
Right.
Yeah.
So you found that you liked some of these beers because of the flavoring?
Yeah, every one of them is so different because they have their own style. These brewers, these brew masters, which I was trying to find in the story, and that's going to be on the seasonsmagazines.com website, the whole story. We showed you a preview. That is really where you're going to see the artisan behind the beer making. You know, I mean, there's so many different beers, and they're constantly creating. And we're taking you on that trail. We're taking you on the Connecticut Beer Trail all across Connecticut. You can find them, much like you do with a winery or a vineyard.
Right.
It's such a unique taste, beer.
It is.
Do you enjoy it?
I don't
like
love,
a cold.
I really don't love beer, except on a really hot day. Then maybe like, but I would associate. I always associate beer as a traditional beer. What I'm less familiar about, and people are, you know, it's changing now. I guess what the microbrews are doing is they have something for everyone's palate.
They really, really do. That's a perfect way of putting it. I mean, anywhere you go, you can find the kind of beer you like. And when they were asking me, because I'm not a beer connoisseur, they were like, "What kind of beer do you like?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just surprise me."
Like I like the light, flavorless ones. That people who like beer will be like, "That's not real beer."
Like, can I get a cider ale? And I love the cider ales. The cider ales are great, you know, like the hard ciders. But this allowed me to kind of try different things, and I think that's really important, is that you're trying different, like you go to the theater, you try different kinds of shows and plays. You try different kind of wines when you go to vineyards. This gives you the opportunity, and what's so great is coming up this weekend at Ski Sundown is actually a brew fest.
Oh, wow.
And about 30 breweries are going to be there, including these 3, and you can test out different beers, see what you like, and then you can go on the beer trail.
Is there a hierarchy of beer? Like, is there one that's supposedly better than the other, or do like the real beer people make fun of the chocolate truffle beer because it's flavored with chocolate truffles?
I think there are some brewers that feel that some are gimmicky, and you know, when we were talking to the folks over at Relic, Mark Sigmund, who owns that one, he said he's kind of like the foodie of beers. You know, like he likes to try the lavender and the different kinds of citrus oranges.
Orange.
Yeah, there were some really great beers, and it's just, I think it's just trying different things and experimenting. I mean, it's kind of like being the mad scientist in a way. That's what I was saying. It's like the mad scientist of breweries.
Well, we'll find out more about it when we can read Seasons Magazine. It comes in your mail, and also we can look out for your video. Hopefully we can get a link on that.
Today it's going to be live. It's live on seasonsmagazines.com. It's called Seasons on the Road with Hillary Russo. So I'm taking you on this trip, this tour of the Connecticut breweries.
Thank you for coming in and making us so hoppy.
Yeah, oh, very cute.
Thank you.
Cheeky.
Yeah.